Does anyone else know what the Alex Cooper, Alex Earle feud is about?
You know what? Honestly, don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Somebody teach me.
Don't
this
have
stuff.
time.
Clearly, our comm shops have some work to do.
You know, I do. I think
I get like a news of the
do.
day. Maybe we need like a, here's what's trending of the day.
Yeah,
right?
maybe we
Or-
do.
My kids
aware
tell
of
me I need
things
to
we're all
have
talking about?
a pop briefing every week because I just
Lingo
I'm
and issues.
so
Yeah.
focused
You're so
on
unk.
delivering for
What's that?
Tennesseans. I
Something
don't
about
look at
excellence.
all of that.
Yeah.
I don't look online.
Yeah.
So credible.
That you're not like
I'm
seeing-
dying. Like, this is the funniest
You're not
thing I've
seeing
ever
any of us here. Like,
Are you
choose
thinking
between-
we're a bunch of boomers? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I would never be that mean. I would only do that to Democrats.
Alex Cooper recently admitted something major when it comes to social media, and it kind of feels like it has to do with Alex Earle. So let's go ahead and discuss. So for those of you who don't know, Alex Cooper and Alex Earle have allegedly had beef ever since Alex Earle left Alex Cooper's Unwell Podcast Network. Now, for a while, this alleged beef was just a rumor until Alex Cooper kind of gave everyone the confirmation they were looking for. She posted a TikTok right after Coachella where she explicitly called out Alex Earle. In a turn of events, Alex Earle never responded and has not addressed it at all. Even when she was on the Today Show this week talking about her Sports Illustrated cover, she did not talk about Alex Cooper. Now that brings us back to the admission that Alex Cooper made this week. While interviewing Tana Mojo on her podcast Call Her Daddy, Alex admitted that she's deleted TikTok. She said she did so because she is sick of people pitting women against one another. Now, of course, the internet is having a reaction to this because Alex Cooper kind of willingly pitted herself against Alex Earle when she posted that TikTok calling her out. So I don't know, it kind of feels like she's deleting TikTok, making this a big deal even though it is a problem that she caused. But go ahead and let us know your thoughts, and for more trending news, don't forget to follow What's Trending.
What do you guys think about her dad being her manager? I think that's like the most interesting thing in the world.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, her dad is from the beginning of time.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
I think that you occasionally hear the stories of it working out, like Tish Cyrus, or like it working out so perfectly. But I feel like I'm not talking about Alex Earle, I'm talking about as a blanket statement. I feel like if I had to gather every story I've heard of that, only 10% are successful.
Yeah, like more often than
Like-
Really? I
Like
think
a-
in her particular case, it just works so well because
Yeah.
everything she does is so centered around business, and her dad is such a successful like businessman.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. She obviously has her agents and stuff too, but I always, like, when I found that out, I was like, oh my God.
I could also just tell she has an amazing relationship with her family. And you see that through like all of her content, honestly.
Something clearly went wrong between Alex Cooper and Alex Earle. But the strange part? Nobody is actually saying what it is. What started as quiet tension has now turned into a very public standoff. Subtle shade turned into direct callouts. And now, millions of people are watching, waiting for one side to finally break. Because this isn't just influencer drama anymore. There are business deals, power dynamics, and behind-the-scenes moments that might completely change how people see both of them. And the longer it stays quiet, the more suspicious it gets. It all hit a breaking point when Alex Cooper decided she was done staying quiet. Out of nowhere, she posted a video directly addressing Alex Earle. And she didn't hold back. She basically said, stop the vague posts, stop the subtle shade, and just say what you have to say. According to her, there was no NDA. No one was stopping Alex Earle from speaking. So if there was a problem, why not just say it? That moment instantly changed everything. Because up until then, this situation lived in reposts, likes, and quiet speculation. But now, it was direct, public, unavoidable. And once that kind of energy is out there, there's no going back. But here's the thing, this didn't just come out of nowhere. After that call out, all eyes shifted to Alex Earle. And at first, it looked like she was ready to respond. She reposted the video and said, "Okay, on it," which sounded like she was about to drop everything. The full story, the explanation, the moment everyone had been waiting for. But then, nothing. Well, not exactly nothing. She posted a reaction video. But instead of explaining what happened, she kept things vague. No details, no real answers. And that silence, it didn't calm things down. It made everything worse. Because now people weren't just curious. They were suspicious. Days passed. Still nothing. And the internet started doing what it always does, filling in the blanks. But then someone stepped in claiming there were no blanks left to fill. A TikToker came out saying he had spoken to multiple sources and knew exactly what happened behind the scenes. And according to him, this wasn't just personal drama, it was business. He claimed that ALIX Cooper needed ALIX Earle at a very specific moment, when she was building out her network and trying to secure a massive deal. ALIX Earle wasn't just another creator, she was a rising name, someone with influence, attention, and momentum. And allegedly, that made her valuable. The claim was that her presence helped push things forward in a major way. But behind the scenes, things weren't as smooth as they looked. There were concerns about contracts, about how things were structured, about whether everything was actually fair. And if that's true, it changes the entire story. Because now it's not just about feelings, it's about leverage. But the real tension, according to these claims, didn't start there. One of the biggest turning points reportedly happened during a podcast episode. What looked like a casual, fun moment on camera may not have felt that way behind the scenes. The claim is that during filming, while drinking, certain questions were asked that crossed a line. Questions that, in the moment, were answered, but later regretted. And this is where things get complicated. Because when you mix power dynamics, alcohol, and a public platform, the situation can feel very different after the fact, especially when one person is newer, younger, and still figuring things out, while the other is established and in control of the platform. If that experience didn't sit right afterward, it could easily plant the first seeds of tension. And once that kind of feeling starts, it doesn't just disappear, it builds. And in this case, something else added even more pressure. At some point, the situation reportedly went beyond content and business. It became about image. Certain posts, certain opinions, and certain associations started creating backlash. And when you're tied to a brand, that matters. Because now it's not just about what you say, it's about how it reflects on everyone involved. The claims suggest that there was a growing disconnect between personal views and the direction the brand wanted to go. And when those two things don't align, tension is almost guaranteed. Opportunities get affected, deals get questioned, and suddenly, what used to work starts to feel risky. But even that wasn't the breaking point, because what happened next allegedly took things to another level entirely. This is where things reportedly escalated fast. There were claims of pressure building behind the scenes, quiet at first, then harder to ignore. Not just small disagreements either. We're talking demands, pushback, and constant tension over decisions that clearly weren't lining up anymore. And it wasn't just between ALIX Cooper and ALIX Earle. At some point, other voices entered the picture. Management, family, people with influence over the direction of everything. And when that happens, situations like this tend to escalate fast. Because now it's not just personal, it's layered. Business meets emotion, and suddenly every decision feels bigger than it actually is. What started as a partnership slowly turned into something else entirely. A conflict. There were reportedly conversations about contracts, who was locked into what, who wanted out, and what options were even on the table. Questions about control started coming up too. What should be said publicly? What should stay behind closed doors? And more importantly, who gets to decide that? And then, according to the story, there was a moment where everything boiled over. One meeting, the kind where tensions don't just stay professional, where voices get louder, emotions take over, and things are said that can't really be taken back. Not just a disagreement, but something that shifted the energy completely. Now, whether every detail of that moment is accurate, we honestly don't know. But what is clear is this. After that point, things were never the same. You could start to see it, not through statements or interviews, but through behavior. Instead of direct explanations, everything moved into subtle territory. Liked comments that felt intentional, posts that seemed normal on the surface, but carried a message if you read between the lines. Even song choices that felt a little too specific to be random. Nothing outright confirmed anything, but it was just enough to keep people watching. And that's where things started to get messy. Because when there's no clear version of events, the internet fills in the gaps on its own. People began choosing sides without even having the full story. Some felt like Alex Earle had been put in a situation she didn't fully control. Others believed she was carefully shaping a narrative to protect her image. At the same time, there were those who thought Alex Cooper's call-out was a strategic move, forcing the situation into the open before it could be twisted, while others saw it as confidence, like she knew something the public didn't. Then, just when things couldn't get more confusing, another voice stepped in, Alex Earle's sister. She pushed back on the circulating claims, saying the information being spread wasn't accurate, but instead of clearing things up, it added another layer of uncertainty, because now people weren't just questioning the story, they were questioning every version of it. And just as the pressure for answers kept building, a new twist started gaining attention. Rumors began circulating that Alex Earle might not address any of this right away, that instead of responding online, she could be saving everything for something bigger, a reality show, which, if true, changes everything. Because that means the silence isn't hesitation, it's strategy. And if that's the case, then what we're seeing right now might just be the build-up, not the reveal, which means the explanation everyone is waiting for, it might not come anytime soon. And that delay is starting to frustrate people. Because curiosity only lasts so long before it turns into impatience. Right now, we're stuck in the middle of the story. Two sides, two completely different narratives, and no full explanation from either one. But here's what makes this situation different. The longer it stays unresolved, the bigger it becomes. Because silence doesn't kill a story like this. It feeds it. And when the truth finally does come out, whether it's in a video, an interview, or something no one expects, there's a good chance it won't match what people think right now. Until then, everyone's watching, and whatever happens next, it's not staying behind the scenes.